I was not disappointed in the final choices, and I did fight hard for lots of them, and lots of them either won or got honors, so I was happy about that. You can, although you heard now, I told you that we're road tripping it, so you're going to be in that suitcase for 12 hours. So as long as you're okay being in the suitcase with, you know, all our clothes and stuff, you can come. But no, I'm really excited to go to the banquet, you know, because the other times I've been, it's been fun to hear, but this time it's going to be the author that we chose, so that's really exciting. And I think it's really neat that Erin Stead, who wrote Amos McGee, that was her first book too, so it's exciting to see two first-time people. And I don't know what other stuff I'm going to go to. I know that I've heard that we have things with each of the authors, but I don't know how that works. I don't know. I guess we'll go to all of them. I don't know. I'm kind of in a daze still from the picking of the books. So I'm just kind of, I'm lucky to even be here today. I just kind of just make sure I get to work every day and make sure I'm hanging out with my wife and my baby, and other than that, I couldn't tell you what I had for breakfast this morning, so I don't know. I think it's pretty right on the way it is. I think it was fun for me this year. I learned a lot about the Newbery. I didn't know a lot of stuff. I didn't know it was for 0 to 14 and that things like, you know, board books were eligible. So I had a lot of fun reading picture books and trying to compare them to, you know, books like Moon Over Manifest or One Crazy Summer or Turtle in Paradise. It was hard to compare them. Or nonfiction books, you know, like a lot of the books that, like Carcapo Rescue, like how do you compare that with the books, with the fiction books? So I think 0 to 14 is right on. And I think it's nice that there's flexibility from the committee to kind of decide if a book, that we kind of have the flexibility with a lot of books to decide, you know, well, do we feel like that's a book for our audience, or do we feel like it's a book for an older audience? And I think it's nice that each committee kind of has the ability to interpret within reason, you know, the books that are on the very high range, you know. I think there have been books that have won in the last couple of years that people thought were kind of for older readers, but, you know, I think that's a judgment call. I think a lot of people have different opinions, and I think if there's a 13 or 14-year-old out there who would read the book, to me that means it's good for the Newbery. So yeah, I think 0 to 14 is good. I think it's right on. How about you? What do you think?
I think 0 to 14 is good.
You think so?
Maybe like split it in half because they're so different.
Yeah. So like maybe have a Newbery like young readers like award and a Newbery older readers. That's a good idea. Are you listening, ALA people? I've tried to read books, and I'm trying to keep up. I've got a book at home right now that I've heard a lot about that I haven't started yet, but I've heard it's good. It's called Small Persons with Wings. I can't remember the name of the author. Have you heard of that one? They talked about it on Heavy Metal, so I ordered it, and I've heard it's good, but I haven't started reading it yet. I've heard that Gary Schmidt's new book is really good, but I haven't read it. Have you read any of his books, like Lizzie Brighton the Buckminster Boy, or Wednesday Wars?
Oh, I read one.
Did you like Wednesday Wars? Isn't that awesome? Yeah, his new book's called Okay for Now, and I've heard that it's just amazing, but I haven't read it. When I was at ALA, I didn't get to go around grabbing advanced readers from places because I was too tired, and a lot of people did, so I'm kind of jealous of them. But I can't even think of a book I've read this year so far that has been a book from this year. I think I read The Thief, and I've been having so much fun reading whatever I wanted to read that I'm just like, I'm just gonna read whatever I want to read. And so, but yeah, I'm excited to keep up, and I'm excited to get on Heavy Metal this year and be able to talk, because I couldn't talk, so I'm gonna get involved in all the arguing and stuff. So how about you? Have you read any this year yet?
No.
Nope. Still recovering?
I just finished Moon Over Manifest this morning.
Did you? What did you think? You can be. Did you love it? Didn't it have just? Isn't it amazing just the way everything came together? And can you believe it was her first book?
I know.
How do you do that? Yeah.
I don't know.
I just thought that book was amazing. I remember when I first read it. I remember it was in March or April, and I had the ARC, and I read it, and I just couldn't believe it. I had to double check to make sure it really said it was her first book. I was like, this can't really be her first book. That must have just been a misprint. But yeah, it's like, but you know, I mean, did you see it took her 9 years to write it?
9 years.
9 years, because she's a mom. She has 4 kids, and when she started writing it, her kids were something like 1, 4, 6, and 7, something like that. Can you imagine that? So she would write when she found time, and now, you know, they're all like, the youngest is like your age, and then she's got kids in high school. So yeah, it took her 9 years to write it. Well, I think, first of all, if you're interested in literature, good for you. And you've crossed the first hurdle there because you like to read. Keep reading. I would encourage you to read stuff, even if you're not always interested in it. Try different genres of stuff. Try some nonfiction. Try reading a book. Like if you don't really like vampire books, try reading one. You might like it. Try reading fantasy if you don't like it. Try reading sci-fi. I would just say try reading all kinds of books, even ones. Don't get caught in a rut. I don't think you have that problem because I think you read just about everything. But I sometimes get stuck in a rut of just fantasy, and it's good to get out there and read, you know, a book about, you know, a 12-year-old girl at a school who who thinks a boy is cute and, you know, wants him to ask her to the dance. That's not the kind of book I normally read, so I think it's good to read lots of stuff. So I would say to kids who are interested in literature, just read widely and read all kinds of stuff and keep reading and don't ever stop. That's what I would say. Absolutely.
Do you have anything else to add?
Well, it's really an honor to have you come here. I'm really just extremely charged that you drove over here because I love your blog, and meeting you is like meeting the authors. It's exciting. And I already met you, but I mean, seeing you again is exciting. So thank you, and I'm really grateful that you came. So thanks for coming, and thanks for driving her around, because you probably wouldn't have got very far without your mom. you might have made it down to like I-65, but that would have been about the end of it probably.
I could have hitchhiked.
You could have hitchhiked, that's true, but you probably wouldn't. Yes, mom's holding her head in your hands. Probably not a good idea, but no, that's the last thing I want to say. Thank you very much I'm just really excited. All right.